Here we have Chopper. Nice figure. Of course, the other part he came with. Chopper C1-10P. I can never remember that thing. Of course, pretty artwork on the side. Chopper C101P. C1-10P. See, it's just so difficult. Chopper is the resident droid of the Ghost, assisting the crew in everything from ship maintenance to combat, even though he doesn't always want to. Number 2 in the Star Wars Rebels line. Of course, you know, they have ditched the old style packaging, and they're now going with this other one that just has the series that it's from, and I guess numbered in the series, as opposed to having being this on number like 100 and probably 25 or something. So here's the bottom. I mean, here's the lower half of the backside. There's not really anything on this side. And of course the bottom. And here is the UPC. So there are 4 tape things at the top. So, or I could just do the one at the bottom. I'm just going to do the 4 at the top, and I'll come back when it's out of its shell. So here we are, all out of the box. Of course, there's some dust, stupid paper nobody cares about. There's a back insert back here in case you just want to have just generic thing for whenever you post this on Instagram. Of course, this is now doing the Marvel Legends style, where it has the thing that goes on top of it. And time to pop all these out. So here we have Chopper all out of the packaging. Got all these nice parts. I went ahead and swapped it out so it looks like the most basic form of Chopper that you have. And I think some things actually have changed, like it's got slightly different paintwork. I did actually have the original one, but I sold it just because I like the way these new boxes on these figures look. There are some wheels at the bottom. I'll take a look at the articulation and stuff later. But for now, I just wanted to give you an up-close shot. I think some compartments come off and stuff, so yeah, I'll play with all these. He's also got the other original droid part from that one episode. I just can't remember the name of it right now. It seems a little bent. Maybe that's like that in the show. Or mine could just be a little messed up, and I might knock that back into place if it's really an issue. Of course, there's this nice flame blast-off effect that you're seeing now on like the Iron Man 2020 Marvel Legends. There's not really anything inside of here, just orange translucent. And yeah, does this come out? I don't think it does, or at least if it does, it doesn't really want to. So that's Chopper. I'm going to go play with him for a minute and come back and go over all the articulation and stuff. Alright, so I just watched the Forgotten Droid, which is actually the first time that we see the Alan Rickman droid. And I did learn some things about this figure. Mainly, whenever these arms are out, the side panels are not. They're on there pretty tight, so I would say it's not really something that you're supposed to be able to take off. He definitely does have his arms go further down than 180 degrees. And this one you can do, but it doesn't want to stay. Just not really a thing that this one can do. As well as inside here, it seems that his arm in here is on like a... You know what I mean. But it has like different little anchor points all within this thing that you can move around. So technically he should be able to put it all the way up here and all the way down here, and this thing wouldn't be out. But I mean, I feel like that's asking a lot of this figure, and without having this be a parts forming thing, which is where, even though this figure is literally all just parts forming, because you can have this and take out this part and put on the other part and all these other things. So it's not the most accurate thing, ever. You know, he puts this arm around the side of his hand, and you can't really do that. That's about as close as you can get. Maybe a little bit more. If you use some blue tack or something, you could definitely fudge that if that was something that you were going for. Or right here is where it's very apparent that the arms are on a rail system. Sorry, a rail system, which you can clearly see in the Forgotten Droid episode. And yeah, so technically Chopper never does have the original part onto here because he, at the very end of the episode, he sacrifices the parts out of this thing to put into the Alan Rickman inventory droid. So there are definitely some inaccuracies about what all that this thing can do. I don't think that he could push himself up because he can't even get his arms down past what is shown. These clippers are not on a rotation joint on their own. It's all just one molded piece. It does have the part here that comes out. So this is like to go into doors and stuff, I'm pretty sure. I can't really get it to go much farther than this. Maybe you can. Maybe that'll break. But it looks like there is a part right there that is stopping it from going any farther. So if you cut that, you could probably get more of a rotation, but I don't know why that you would. But it's definitely possible. There's a little bit of bend here at the feet, and you can see that this cable rotates with it as well. Let's see, if I close this, I can still get pretty much a full 360-degree rotation, but it does rub a little bit, and hopefully you wouldn't damage the paint or anything on here, but even if you did, it would still line up with this figure because that's how it works. I did at first, I was like kind of scared about taking off the arms, so you kind of like pull on it and you hit one knob and it's got like a lot of rotation, and then you pull it out and then there's the second one. So there's like, if you hear that, see there's like two there are like two stopper forms in there. So it was kind of scary to do at first, but now that I know how that works, it's definitely very nice. So, of course, he does have the alternate modes with a wheel down here. And I've actually figured out how to get this little piece out there without losing your mind. And that is, instead of just straight pulling on it, twist it and pull it. Like, I kid you not, that's, like, I don't know what it is about it, but it just makes it so much easier. The amount of force that I'm trying to push on this versus what I can actually do whenever I get it out like that is crazy. Maybe that's the point. Maybe you're supposed to like turn it like this to get it out, but you do it like that and it locks it down into place more. I'm not really seeing any sort of mechanic that would allow for that. Rotating the head does turn that. So I guess they put a square peg into a round hole. I don't know why that would make any sense that doing that causes that. Is this bit left over from a runner? Like, what is this? I have no idea. Two-tone color right there as well. I don't know if that's supposed to be detail or what. That's full 360-degree rotation. You see him in like the first little short, and he flies around like this. And of course, you can still do the standard R2-D2 mode of going around as well. It's fantastic. This rotates a full 360 degrees. So if you were like, you could have him like rotate on a 360-degree turning radius, a 360-degree turning radius, if you really wanted him to. But I doubt Chopper actually ever moved like that. He probably always went around like this. Like in one of the episodes, he just like, woo! So that's Chopper. He's cool. Of course, you take this out, super easy, no problems, and you get the little fire flying effect thing. Have them all Supermaned up, and it looks fantastic. Chopper is just a great figure. And of course, he has his little stand. If you rotate this top piece, there are a few certain ways where it fits into the bottom piece more than others. I think that was the best case for it. Yeah, there's definitely a certain way that fits in better than most others. As I showed earlier, just a bunch of, like, not really a bunch in here. I think it's kind of weird that there isn't more like a circular mushroom launch as opposed to this rectangular one. And you can't really have him blast off like this because he always wants to go to the side. That's about the best you can do, and it still is kind of offset. Maybe that's because I'm on carpet. I don't know. So that's what he looks like. And it's still a pretty cool accessory. I don't know that that's really what I want my chopper to be doing, but it's definitely there if you want to do it. Time for some size comparison. Chopper is a very small figure. He is just about 3 inches from this kind of position. If you wanted to stand him up, he's still about 3 inches. It's a little under, maybe a little over 3. Yeah, it's definitely a little over 3 to the top of his antenna. I did not know that Forlom was posed like that in the Empire Strikes Back movie. That's weird. So here's Chopper with the thing put in, and he definitely gets some height added onto him whenever you add the rocket and the little blast off effect thing. And here he stands next to Forlom, the original one, and that's like the closest representation you're going to get to the actual Alan Rickman droid. I think his name's AP5. I don't know, I just watched it, but I should have watched it with subtitles or something. And this is the closest thing that I have to a protocol droid, otherwise like a C3PO type. And he's of course got some leeway in the box there. So that's about what he would look like next to C3PO, pretty sure. Which of course, they do actually, Chopper does meet C3PO and R2 in the first episode of Rebels, actually. So that's pretty cool. I guess I'll show you the only representations I have of those characters because they are pretty cool. And here are those figures. I think that, I don't know, this is the R2 that made a bunch of noises. And it's like a, I don't know the exact name of it. And of course, C3PO, I'm pretty sure this one is for sure from the Revenge of the Sith line. And this droid, which was Obi-Wan's, and I got for Christmas, and I'm not even kidding you, I immediately broke it. Like, I legit probably had it for like 10 seconds, and it broke. So, luckily that has not happened with Chopper, and hopefully we get a representation of this droid down the line in the Black Series. Hopefully we get AP5. Here he is next to these three. Here he is next to the other 3 members of the Rebels. Here he is next to the Figuarts Bootleg Mall and the Black Series Mall with the Cape Head. Here he is next to the GameStop Stormtrooper Commander, the Black Series AT-AT driver that's been modified, and Rex. Lastly, here he is next to the EE 2020 Goku and the Jedi Revan. So, time to go over and rate this thing. So in order to give this thing a final score, I gotta kind of look at it from a strange perspective, which is like, if Figuarts ever made him, of course he would be better. He'd probably have more accessories. He'd probably have the drop-down doors on the sides and just a little bit better articulation and maybe a little bit better paint. But if you're looking at this from a purely Black Series perspective, it's definitely a really good figure. If I was going to give this a final rating, I would say it's probably like 2.75, somewhere in there. You could have a better representation of this character. Yeah, you could have a better representation of everyone. Even this Figuarts Goku has its own problems. But like, I don't know, it's really just a matter of, are you going to enjoy this figure? Yes. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been Jobenblue. Check out the figure reviews of all the other Black Series characters and whoever else you see here that you like. There's probably going to be a review of them at some point. So, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.